Have you ever noticed this?
A message from the Lord Marshal himself.
How dare you show your back to me?
Oh dear.
In pretty much all American epic and fantasy movies,
Look around you.
they all sound British.
How did it come to this?
Why does Hollywood insist on making all wizards, kings, and Romans sound British? The answer is rooted in empire and how accents signify stature. During the early days of film, the British Empire covers nearly a quarter of the Earth's land. In 1926, phonetician Daniel Jones coins the term received pronunciation, or RP, to describe the accent actively cultivated by the British elite.
We can set an example to the world which will encourage upright people everywhere.
Blue sky, smiling at me.
The very next year, in Hollywood, the first talking motion picture releases. Al Jolson plays a poor Jewish man from the New York ghetto.
If I'm a success in this show, well, we're going to move from here.
Not quite British, but also not quite Jewish dude from the New York ghetto. That's the transatlantic accent, America's answer to RP.
3 months ago, you promised to put me into society.
What do you do on a newspaper in the middle of the night?
It was invented to mimic the dropped R's, articulated T's, and soft vowels of the Earth's British overlords. It became America's proper accent, and the standard for film characters of any social class.
Now, please listen to me. You certainly can't think that I did that intentionally.
Well, if I could think, I'd have run when I saw you.
Then, in the first mainstream fantasy film,
This is the Wicked Witch of the West. She's worse than the other one was.
we see the beginning of a new trend. More contemporary American accents for common folk,
Scarecrows don't talk.
It's pleasant down that way, too.
and the transatlantic accent for more powerful characters.
Do not arouse the wrath of the great and powerful Oz.
But by the 50s, the British Empire started crumbling, and being British was no longer aspirational.
We will certainly lose the trust and respect of the world.
Instead, Americans became obsessed with beatniks, greasers, method acting.
Oh, those cats.
The phony transatlantic accent became a thing of the past. But as America became the world's new empire, Hollywood grew obsessed with old empires, both real and imaginary. This is when ancient epic films truly took off. The transatlantic accent had a new home in this new genre, and so did RP.
Who's this serpent swallows up the others?
Go away. What'll she think of you? Indeed, what will I think of you?
Directors began casting British actors as the less sympathetic agents of the ruling class, and American actors as the more sympathetic underdogs. By the late 60s, opposition to the Vietnam War reaches a peak. American imperialism is taking a dark turn, and pop culture's romance with empire grows cold. Until... Harkening back to the epics of the 50s and 60s, George Lucas gave RP and transatlantic accents to the Empire's leaders.
Where are those transmissions you intercepted? What have you done with those plans?
And he gave the scrappy underdog rebels American accents.
Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Romans work alone.
The use of RP and transatlantic accents as markers of power continue to this day.
How quaint.
While someday British-sounding accents may no longer evoke the grandeur of a lost empire,
It is my birthright.
That's exactly how I feel.
for now, at least your wizards, kings, and Romans will continue to sound British. Ish.